Now, to be honest, the direct selection tool really isn't the ideal way to now access individual parts of this group. Illustrator has this fantastic function called isolation, okay? It's very straightforward. We have a group selected. All we need to do is double click it and we'll go into what's called isolation mode. Now, you can see in the upper left, we are basically inside a group which is on the wheel layer. So if you're a Flash user, you would actually recognize this kind of structure where we have an object. This is an object that's inside that object and so on. We might have multiple groups within groups. You can use isolation mode to go down into those, and this basically isolates these particular elements, giving us individual access to them. You see, it's like they've been ungrouped, but we're inside almost like a separate artboard. We can't select anything else in our artwork. And in fact, if we look at the whole layout, you can see everything's got a slight tint to it. That's because we're not in there. We're inside this particular group, okay? So this is our isolation mode. Let's just double click anywhere else to exit isolation. Takes us back to where we were. Let's lock the wheel and hide it. And what we're going to do is come down to our flyer here at the bottom. And we'll do the same with this selection grid that we have here. Remember, we created this earlier. I'm going to go ahead. In fact, we can just click and drag across them, and that will select all 9 of those shapes. Once again, Command G or Control G on the PC to group them together. Now I decide, you know what, I want to change the color of this center one to just a solid black for now. All right, simply double click to go into isolation mode. Then we can click on the central shape, come over here into the color panel, make sure our fill is selected, and go over and choose black. As always, double click outside to exit the isolation mode. All right. It's very important what we've learned there, the ability to group items together, but also the ability to go inside them and make further changes. And this is very, very useful when you're organizing your artwork in future. Once we start doing things like masks and things like that, the same rules apply. If you mask an object, you can use isolation to get inside the mask and edit the elements inside. Okay, so same functionality, different use, and we'll discover that as we move through the training series.